get caught out there.
Oh, Cruz just went down.
And this is a miss hit. You know, he got under it a little bit. Maybe.
I really don't understand how some of these kids are able to do what they do between Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It really doesn't make sense how good these people are at such a young age, and it's no different for 6'7" super prospect Oneil Cruz of the Pittsburgh Pirates. How was he able to hit this ball out considering he's 6'7" and this ball was at his ankles pretty much? The fact that he had enough strength to get this over the wall. The next crop of prospects are really going to take over the game, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us. But what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day. And also, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire purchase. We're going to talk about some of the remaining free agents that are left because Jorge Soler and Trevor Story are not amongst that group anymore. They have signed with brand new teams. We're going to show off the prodigious power of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I don't think this ball has landed yet. And also, Aaron Judge, he's not too happy with where Trevor Story is going. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. All right, real quick before we talk about where Trevor Story is going, let's talk about Jorge Soler inking a 3-year deal with the Marlins. And to me, this was only made possible because the universal DH is now a thing. So there's a DH in the American League and now the National League. So the fact that he gets 3 years from an NL team and he is mainly going to be their DH, I am fully behind this. So the Marlins have added Avisail Garcia. They traded for Jacob Stallings. They are going to be much better on both sides of the diamond, both offensively and defensively. I don't believe that Jorge Soler is going to be their right fielder. He is going to be their DH. And when you have an outfield of Avi Garcia, Brian De La Cruz, and Jesus Sanchez, and with the chance for Jesus Luzardo to break out as a number 4 or 5 starter, with the addition of Sixto Sanchez after he comes back from injury, the Marlins can be a 500 team in 2022 and beyond. They have a very solid core of young players. I love, absolutely adore, and cherish Jazz Chisholm because I really feel like he is going to make the game grow in different areas of America, and we need more people like Jazz Chisholm and Akil Baddoo just growing the game from within. The Marlins are a sneaky team to make the playoffs. I don't expect them to do it this year, but going forward into 2023 and beyond, that pitching staff is going to be disgusting. And who knows if Jorge Soler can recapture the magic from a few years ago or even just recently as the World Series, and if he can carry that into the season and be a 35-40 home run guy, combine that with Jesus Aguilar and all of the other guys that we talked about today, again, the Marlins can be a sneaky dark horse team to make the playoffs. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you make of Miami for this upcoming season? I'm not talking about 2023 and beyond. Do we believe that there's a chance that they can squeak in this year? In my opinion, this was the final domino to fall. I'm not saying Michael Conforto or Tommy Pham aren't stars, but Trevor Story to me was the final superstar left in free agency, and he has chosen a new home. 6 years, $140 million from the Boston Red Sox. So the 29-year-old shortstop is no longer a member of the Rockies. I'm so sorry, Rockies fans. I know that you love this kid because he was homegrown. When he first got called up, didn't he have a home run in 4 consecutive games or something, or was it 6 consecutive games? I will tip my cap to the Rockies. At least you replaced him with a high-end caliber player like Kris Bryant. The only thing is you spent $4 million more on Kris Bryant when you could have had Trevor Story for the next 6 years for $4 million less. Again, it just doesn't really make sense to me, but at least the Rockies and the Twins are spending money and there's more parity in baseball. I love the fact that there are players going to different teams because now there are new storylines that we have to keep in mind for the following season. Boston, they get a stud, a walking 2020 with insane defense, and yes, I understand that Trevor Story's home and road stats are not that great, but he does have a career 112 WRC plus, which factors in the era in which they play in, as well as the ballpark and just the environment for hitters in general. So a 112 WRC plus where the average is 100 would suggest that he is an above average hitter, and he basically has 70 defensive run saves in his first 6 seasons. To be exact, he has 69 very nice DRS in his first 6 seasons. So he is a stud defender and he is an above average hitter with above average speed. Again, he's a walking 2020. My hope is that the Red Sox come to their senses. They understand that Xander Bogaerts is awful defensively. They move Xander Bogaerts to third base. Trevor Story is going to be the brand new everyday shortstop. You call up Jeter Downs as your second baseman because that dude is going to be disgusting. You move Rafael Devers to first base, and then from that point on, you understand that JD Martinez, he's probably on the downswing of his career. Bobby Dahlbeck, he is not the best defender over there at first base. And let's face it, Devers over at the hot corner is a liability. Like straight up, Devers at third base is one of the worst defenders in baseball. Xander Bogaerts, one of the worst defenders at shortstop. So give Xander Bogaerts the opportunity to play third, move Devers over to first base, extend Devers, see if Jeter Downs is your guy. And Bobby Dahlbeck, he could play left field if you wanted to. So Bobby Dahlbeck, Kike Hernandez, Jarren Duran, all the other guys that they have on that squad. I would make room for Trevor Story, but Xander Bogaerts does have an opt-out after 2022. So if he opts out, Trevor Story will be the everyday starting shortstop no matter what. Xander would most likely go to a different team. I don't know why I had a premonition that Xander Bogaerts was going to end up on the Giants. I had a dream about that a couple days ago. It was the weirdest thing. I forgot to tell you guys. But because Xander Bogaerts has that opt-out, they're really just doing the exact same thing that the Dodgers did. The Dodgers traded for Trey Turner, and they pretty much expected Corey Seager to walk. That's exactly what happened. So they replaced Corey Seager with Trey Turner. They did an absolute stellar job in that department, and the Red Sox can do the same thing with Trevor Story and Xander Bogaerts. And Yankees fans, they are not happy because it seems like the philosophy in New York has changed. They are prioritizing trades and prospects instead of signing big time free agents, because this was a huge year for free agents. Carlos Correa, you have Clayton Kershaw, and I mean, no way that Clayton Kershaw was going to go to the Yankees, but there was a plethora of superstar free agents, and the Yankees didn't get one of them. Yes, they traded for a former superstar in Josh Donaldson. I would consider him a star. He's about a 4-win player, so again, he's a star. And they also got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, but they are really hoping that their prospects in Jason Dominguez and Oswald Peraza, and especially Anthony Volpe, who a lot of people are considering him to be the #1 prospect in baseball, even over guys like Bobby Witt Jr. and Adley Rutschman. So they are saving money to extend Aaron Judge, and they are waiting for Anthony Volpe and Peraza and Jason Dominguez to come up and do their thing. So it might be smart in the long term, but we know Yankees fans are very irrational and they want success now. They never want to delay a prime career like Aaron Judge for someone that isn't even called up yet. Now we're gonna go and talk about Aaron Judge real quick, because it was quoted that he was not happy that Trevor Story went to the Boston Red Sox, because Aaron Judge, he understands what Trevor Story is capable of, and now he's gonna be doing that for a rival team. You could argue that the Yankees have the 3rd best roster in that division. Hey guys, it's Fuzzy from the future, and all you Yankees fans out there, you're actually saying it could be worse. You could be a 4th place team, because I had a brain fart. I just forgot to mention the Tampa Bay Rays, so it could get as bad as 4th place, because the Yankees, yeah, they improved, but by how much? Behind the Blue Jays, to me, the Blue Jays are the favorite going into 2022 with all of the additions that they have made. Then you have the Boston Red Sox. I know Chris Sale is going to be on the shelf, but to me, when you're comparing rosters pretty much 1 for 1, I do believe that the Yankees are a 3rd place team right now, and that's why Yankees fans are so upset. The Yankees are prospect hugging, and they are holding on to that as opposed to going for superstar free agents like Chris Bryant or Carlos Correa or someone like Trevor Story. I've honestly thought that Trevor Story was going to be the guy in New York, but apparently they just don't believe in his home road stats. Apparently a 112 WRC plus for his career isn't good enough. But if you're a Yankees fan, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you make of this offseason? It's still good. You're probably a better team than last year. Gio Urshela is not as good as Josh Donaldson, even at 36 years old. And Gary Sanchez, yes, he's a pretty good offensive player with his power, but Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Josh Donaldson for your left side of the infield, that's pretty solid. And then you re-sign Anthony Rizzo and you trade away Luke Voit. Now in terms of starting pitchers, nothing really happened. You did lose Corey Kluber, and a lot of people are saying, it's Corey Kluber, he's washed up anyways, but watch him go to the Tampa Bay Rays and be a 15-win, 3.5 ERA guy all over again. So one more time in terms of the free agents that signed recently, Jorge Soler is going to the Marlins on a 3-year deal, and Trevor Story goes to the Red Sox for the next 6 years at $23.3 million a season. And again, the only remaining free agents that I can note, Michael Conforto as well as Tommy Pham. I believe that Conforto is going to go to the White Sox, and Tommy Pham, maybe the Guardians. He could play left field for anywhere from $12 to $13 million a season. That would be a bargain deal, and it would set up the Guardians to be a better team. Just like the Yankees, the Guardians are prospect hugging. They are waiting for guys like Tyler Freeman and Nolan Jones and Gabriel Arias, and I don't blame them because those three guys I expect to be studs. It's getting a little bit annoying to be a Guardians fan because we've only signed one free agent, and that is Luke Maile, a backup catcher. So let's move on over to the spring training highlights from yesterday. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a home run that has not landed yet.
Many reps with your fastball and to try to make sure you're throwing strikes with it.
That's going to be hit a mile. Wow. Off somebody's hands, rolling onto the concourse, and the Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead.
Vladdy lost a little bit more weight and actually gained some muscle over the offseason, so I'm expecting him to repeat his MVP campaign from 2021. I'm heavily invested on his card, so whether it's Tatis or Vlad, I have my bases covered. Josh Donaldson is trying to prove in spring training that Yankees fans have nothing to worry about. He is a 30 home run campaign in the works, and he's going to play some pretty solid defense. Mike Trout, finally, him and Shohei Ohtani have back-to-back base hits, and I cannot wait to see them back in the same lineup, and I'm hoping that Anthony Rendon is going to be healthy and that Joe Adell and Brandon Marsh and Jared Walsh are all going to be those guys in 2022, and that with the additions of Noah Syndergaard and other relief pitchers, the Angels are going to be much improved, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for this season. Now, to end today's video, we're going to stay with the Angels, kind of, because the newest addition of the Cubs, Seiya Suzuki, he was asked why he picked the number 27, and this is what he had to say.
なぜその27番を選んだのかを教えていただけますか。
Mike Trout, I love you.